Alright, so we've been working with inverse trig functions today. Now we're going to do another one of our big objectives, compositions of these functions. So composition, remember, just a function of a function. So here we have cosine of the arcsine of 1/2. They want us to find the exact value. Let me illustrate two methods to do that. First way, let's just ignore the cosine out front and look at arcsine of 1/2. Arcsine of 1/2. So remember, that's what we've been doing basically. Remember what that means? So arcsine of 1/2 basically means, hey, sine of some angle equals 1/2. And we're trying to find the angle, right? Remember, an arc or an inverse trig function is an angle basically. You're finding an angle. So sine of theta, sine of some angle equals 1/2. Well, if I come over here, look at my y value, because it's sine, right? So it's 1/2. So this would tell me, hey, theta is pi/6. So this arcsine of 1/2 is the equivalent of pi/6. So really what they're asking me is, hey, what's the cosine of pi/6? Well, we know what that is. You just come look at your unit circle, right? And it's √3/2. So √3/2. Hey, there we go. Now, pretty easy. If it's on the unit circle, you can do that. You'll go find these exact values. Let me show you another method that I like. Okay? So again, I'm going to go back to this. So arcsine of 1/2 means sine theta equals 1/2. Let's draw a triangle that represents that. Kind of a crazy looking triangle, but sine theta equals 1/2. So I'm using SOHCAHTOA, just drawing in what they've given me. Well, what would this side of my triangle be? Well, if I use Pythagorean theorem, I would get 4 minus 1, that's 3, take the square root. So this side would be square root of 3. Now I've got a triangle that represents sine theta equals 1/2. Basically my theta is what I solve for, even if I don't know what it is. Now, what is this saying? Well, it's basically saying, hey, what's cosine of theta? And I can just look at my triangle. Well, it's adjacent over hypotenuse, and it is √3/2. Notice I get the exact same thing, but it's two different ways to look at it. Now, I'm going to emphasize this bottom method though, because we may run into things, well, not may, we're going to run into things that are not on our unit circle. And so I think the best strategy is just draw a triangle, and then we can use SOHCAHTOA to figure out anything they throw at us.